it was ironic yesterday, Martin, that Chelsea and Liverpool locked horns because these two seemingly going after the same players all the time. Alex Crook, who will be joining us shortly, my talkSPORT colleague, has just got in touch with me here. Liverpool have agreed a £60 million package with Southampton for Romeo Lavia. It's now up to the player to choose between them and Chelsea. Now, the echoes of Moises Caicedo in that one. And we hear that Caicedo, of course, we know, has opted for Chelsea. And it looks as if he'll be out of Brighton sooner than later for the quite unbelievable sum of 115 million. Now it seems Liverpool and Chelsea locking horns for the same player here, Lavia, and it's 60 mil. I mean, what in your view, Martin, what the players look at, what are they trying to sum up in their minds? Which is a more attractive club to join at this particular time?
Okay, I think there are a number of factors. Number one, choice of club should be really important for a start. Secondly, choice of money should probably play some sort of part as well too. And thirdly, I think you have to look at it. If I was a player now thinking, well, if a number of players playing roughly in my position are heading off to a certain club, then maybe I might have a better chance of playing in the other team, if that's the case. If in fact we are now considering that Chelsea and Liverpool are maybe equal in status, then I think that's something for the player to be considering.
Well, I mean, the thing is, Simon,
the beneficiaries
they
are the
don't
two
get
clubs,
it done twice, do they?
Well, the beneficiaries are the two selling clubs because you've got two economically adept football clubs, one that's prepared to spend money like it's going out of fashion in Chelsea, and one that says it doesn't want to and then does. I'm not sure. I think the Moises Caicedo transfer is that Chelsea have stolen a march because they were pitching him a woo much earlier in the equation. Way back at the beginning of the year, they were in his ear and probably have developed a relationship with him. So unfortunately for Liverpool, they found themselves caught out in a different relationship, and that's probably the reasons why the boys choosing to go there, because Chelsea have been longer with him and spent more time around him and influenced him. But Southampton boy, well, they could have closed this deal a while ago because Southampton said they wanted 50 million quid and everyone was mucking about at 45, 46, 48. Now they're at 60. And I'm not sure, are we conflating the two players? Because do they both want both players or did they want one or the other?
No, they're after both. They are after both right now. Liverpool and Chelsea both wanted Caicedo.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
and both bid 100 mil plus.
But did they want two players? Did they want one player for that position? But they both. Okay, fine.
Now Chelsea and Liverpool are both after this fella Lavia. Liverpool have agreed a £60 million package with Southampton for Lavia, but it's up to the player to choose between them and Chelsea. So yeah, they're going to have to. I mean, Martin, it's maybe a tough one to answer, but right now, if you're a top player, and these two obviously are, with a big career ahead of them, which is the more attractive club at this particular time, Chelsea or Liverpool?
Well, that's a really interesting point you make. I think that historically speaking, there wouldn't be too many players who would turn down a chance to play for Liverpool. Let me put it this way. I wouldn't have thought that there. But in recent years, obviously, since Abramovich stepped in at Chelsea, they have the record there. They're competing for trophies. I'm not saying last season was a bit of a blip, but overall they're competing for trophies. They've won the Champions League as well too. Yeah. So they've considered themselves in the last 10 or 15 years to be a sort of an equal. So it is a difficult choice, I must admit, and maybe it might turn out to be something geographical more than anything else.
Are they both in transition this season? Both clubs?
Well, yeah, because you're picking up on disappointing seasons. But these are two powerhouses of football clubs that have had a bad season. I mean, Chelsea's season was a disaster. Liverpool's got itself together at the end where they didn't lose for the last 11 games. You've got an irresistible manager in Klopp. And I would have felt, with no... I'm a London boy, so my natural tendency would be to lean towards Chelsea. But I would have felt that the lure of Klopp and Liverpool would have been irresistible because he's produced a championship-winning side. He's produced a side that 18 months ago were going for all 4 trophies. And Pochettino, with all due respect to him, is still, in my mind, a work in progress. It's okay, you can go over to the French league and win that league with the most powerful team in it. But there's not a long list of honours behind that he's won. He's coming in. Now, it may be salaries. It may be that Chelsea are prepared to pay a lot more salary than Liverpool. But I would have thought that in a situation, with the exception of Moises Caicedo, who's, I think, been courted for some time, and I think that's the same situation that Tottenham had a year ago with Diaz, when they tried to railroad the Diaz transfer, and Liverpool were already into him.
Sure.
So what goes around comes around, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Very much so. You did say, Simon, that Chelsea will be challenging this season.
I did.
So, I mean, if they bolster in this kind of fashion, they will be. Yeah,
well, you can't keep buying very good players and bringing in managers that you think are very good and ultimately keep stinking the place out. A lot of averages is that you're going to get, if you've got a proper manager in that knows his way around the top end of the Premier League and knows his way around top players and big players because he's worked with them more regularly than perhaps Graham Potter had done.
Sure.
Then you're going to eventually land in a place where you're going to achieve things. Now, I don't think they're going to win the league this year, but I do think they're going to have a say in who features in the top four.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.